The MAC is an old historic club, was founded 125 years ago, and our general manager, Lorenzo Vicini, always calls it's a little city, because we have everything. I mean, we have a huge athletic department, we have guest rooms, we have restaurants, we have a huge banquet and catering facility, we have a barber, we have a travel agency. The United States has 6,000 private clubs, and the MAC is one out of 200 platinum clubs in the 7th consecutive year now. It is something very special to these people who belong here as members. And in order to keep that special, we have to be always very flexible. Number one is we don't have reservation systems. We can put advertisement in local papers. We cannot put signs on the road that says today early bird special. In a private club setting, you only can draw from your private membership. So we have to be prepared to serve 100 people in the restaurant for dinner, and maybe we only do 25 that night. But what helps us is via banquet and catering. On weekends it's weddings and social events. We do a lot of fundraising events, and then it's corporate functions, like we have power breakfasts, for example, up to 200-300 people at the club. Then we have huge luncheons. So you see clearly our main business is banquet and catering. That's where we bring the revenue dollars in. But here at the club, we were forced to make some rethinking in the culinary department. Number one is we have 3 kitchens. All 3 kitchens were fully staffed with 2 shifts. And of course, this is a huge labor cost. We clearly wanted to decrease labor, but yet keep the quality up. So I started talking to other chefs around the country and says, listen, what can I do and what would you do? And a good friend of mine gave me the tip, have you ever read about plate rhythm? And I says, I read about it. I don't think very highly of it. I don't think it doesn't apply with my type of cooking. And he says, well, check it out, and which I did. So Alto Shaam sent me down to Chicago to 2 properties and just to get familiar with the idea. And I spent a whole day in a kitchen, and it was very impressive. That's the first time I came in contact with plate rhythm, and the product was just sensational. So my sous chef and I, on the way home, we said we gotta get it. But of course, it's a big investment, so you have to do a lot of research. But I decided to go with Alto Shaam because they're the only ones who could supply me the entire system. The oven unit, the chill unit, and the staging carts or the hot boxes. We are, like I said, a small city, and we are 13-story buildings. The kitchen is located on the 4th floor, so we have long ways to travel. There are blanket systems out there which hold the heat for 20 minutes. And if a party goes 45 minutes late, instantly I said to my sous chef, I says, what are we gonna do? I need a system what I can depend and rely on. And Alto Shaam supplied me with the right answer, because they says, well, we have the hot boxes. Today, in 2007, I think I changed my thinking process. This year, we had a wedding on New Year's Eve, and we had a very large member event too on New Year's Eve. And we used to work 15 to 20 people on a night like that in the kitchen. This year we did it with 9 people, and they said the best ever. As a non-food professional, when you hear, well, I cooked your steak yesterday, you get funny looks, no doubt about it. And the same way I was a couple of years ago when I read about it. Today I'm a big believer in it. So the same as our members. I mean, they are believers in it because they're the ones actually who eat it day in, day out. I think we set the trend here because we tell customers we can do that for you, and then they're always amazed. They say, you can do that for me for that size of group. And I show them, I give them a classic example. They went to a steakhouse and they had a bone-in ribeye steak. So they say, chef, could you do that for us for 250 people? I says, no problem, and we can. We use a center cut bone-in ribeye steak. We season it, we grill it, and then we cook it to 125 degrees Fahrenheit, which takes approximately 15 to 17 minutes. We blast chill it, and then we start the plating process. We put a little crescent on the plate, and we try to put the bone on top of the potato so the air circulates around the steak while we retherm it. And they are absolutely perfectly medium rare bone-in ribeye steaks, and I can assure you all 350 or however many we do, they're all perfectly medium rare. Ask any chef with the old conventional system if he wants to do a bone-in ribeye steak for a party of 250 or 350 or 450 people. Can it be done? Yes, but I want to see his face, for example, if the party's an hour late. From the minute we made the decision we go with Alto Shaam, my life definitely became a lot easier. My staff is in total control now over the food. If the best man likes to talk for an hour, I don't care, because I fire the food, for example, when the salads go out. In 20 minutes, I can reheat 320 plates. And I just like the concept of Alto Shaam. It's simple, it's easy to use, because it's not me who works the unit. It's my staff what works the unit. So I have to look that a $7 employee can work that unit in the same way I would use it. And competitors are out there, and I looked at a variety, but for me it seems too complicated. I needed a product simple, easy to use, and reliable. And when I talk to friends in this industry and they tell me the problems they experience with other units, then I'm again thankful to stay with Alto Shaam, because I don't have this experience what they have. And we have them now almost 14 months up and running, and they run from pretty much 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. The 2 ovens you see in the back there are paid for already in 1 year. So I think this system everybody can benefit from. If it's now the 5-star property, if it's the 2-star property, because we're all here to achieve one thing, to satisfy our customers.
In my eyes, it's almost a miracle. The amount of people that we need now compared to what we had when I walked in the door has dropped by half. The ability to knock out parties that would sometimes take in other kitchens I've worked in 2-3 days of prep and run with, we can do in a day. You can fully plate everything up the night before for a party of 500, walk in the door, pull out the coolers, let it rest for a minute, and throw it in the ovens. And all you gotta do is sauce and garnish. I mean, it's made everything so much easier.
We used to cook a lot more difficult. I mean, we made the job really hard on ourselves because we were trained by high-profile chefs that way, and that was pretty much the only way we would cook. We had a huge line set up. I mean, there was an army of people. Today, with that plate rhythm from Alto Shaam, it would have made life a lot easier and probably brought a lot more dollars to the bottom line.